How to 5x your money with Pokemon. How to 5x your money with Pokemon. So I'm going to talk about how I plan, it still hasn't finished yet, but how I plan to make money using this card here. This Pikachu, specifically the Pikachu EX 276 from the Ascended Heroes set. Right now, this card raw is going for $562 on TCG Player. When I bought it though, it was around $500. So how are we gonna make money with this card? Let me show you how. So we're gonna do it using PSA 10 grading. We're gonna grade the card. So we're gonna send it in and hope for a 10, but I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna make money even if it's a 9, okay? PSA 10 for that card right now is $2,600 at least. You don't believe me? Here are the recent sales for that card. Okay. So $2,600 is a conservative estimate. And it's going up. It might die down here soon because it's a new set, but it's going up. Okay. So back to what I'm saying. So $2,600. So we're gonna try to turn in this raw card into a graded card. So we're gonna essentially add value to the card by taking a risk and trying to get this gem mint 10. Okay, so now let's look at the numbers. So my cost for the card, I was able to find a copy of this card when I bought it for $350. It was a very sweet deal. I just reached out on OfferUp to somebody that posted a brand new open that they got, and I offered $350 and they took the offer. Okay, so don't be afraid to send out an offer even if it's semi-low. I know people hate low ballers, but that's how I was able to do it. Okay, so my cost on this card is going to be the cost of the card plus the grading fees. And in this case, if I get a 9, then I only have to pay the $79 grading fee because the card is going to be a little bit over $500. We'll talk about that in another video, is the PSA grading fees. But if it does 10, then my cost will be $299, which is a lot, but I want it to 10. I want to pay that $299. So my cost that I'm looking for and that I'm going to use is this $649. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to consign this card with a high volume eBay store, and we are going to sell it to them. I am just the guy. I don't have a eBay store. I have no listings of my own. I consign everything through other people that have the reputation to sell. Okay. So, and sometimes I use PSA for the convenience because I don't want to wait for the shipping. But there's other consignment sellers that will sell your cards for you. They will obviously take a haircut off of that, which is your consignment fee, but you're paying to essentially get these higher costs. So some of the higher costs that you see there is because the store has more reputation. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. So what I'm looking at based off of my cost and the PSA 10 grade minus the selling fee is about $1,700. Okay, $1,700 would then show up on my bank account if it gets a 10 again, which if we go back to our original formula, $1,700 divided by $350 for the card is 5x my money. 5x my money would be huge for one meetup, and one, so about, let's call it 2 hours worth of work. I made $1,700. So $1,700 divided by 2 hours, that's $800 an hour, of looking up prices, looking up market prices, calling the Facebook guy and meeting up with him and stopping at the bank to get $350 cash and then handing it over. It was about 2 hours worth of work. 2 hours for $1,700. Okay. And I'm gonna take a little sip of my coffee. That's what I plan to do. Again, if it becomes a 9, let's look at the 9 prices. If it becomes a 9, the 9s are still selling for $600. So even if I get a 9, and I don't get that 10 that I'm looking for, it's still, like, I'm still gonna break even. Still gonna break even. So I have a chance to 5x my money for little to no work. If it breaks even, then oh well, I learned, and someone ends up with a 9 out there in the world. If I get a 10, then great. Okay, bye.